Hello guys, it's another episode of Supergirl and another review of mine in episode 2 of season 3. So I'm still kinda cautiously optimistic here, but so far, so good. I think Supergirl is going down a road of continuous improvement on season 3 over season 2. For example, and this was one of my bigger complaints with season 2, the series has kinda toned down the focus on relationships, both existing ones and broken ones. Even when we get to see them, they are either part of light funny moments or part of showing us the aftermath of Kara having to let Mon-El go. So all I can say here is I'm most definitely pretty pleased they're bringing some balance to the show on that front. But before I go deeper into the events of the second episode, let me remind you that I've got a $25 Amazon gift card giveaway running through all my DCTV videos. And all you've got to do to be eligible to win is be a subscriber and leave a relevant comment down below. I'll be announcing the winner on my first DCTV video that I upload on or after the 23rd of October. But let's circle back to the second episode of Supergirl. So this episode ran on the fuel of 3 major arcs. Sai, the villain of the week, portrayed by Yael Grobless, the development of the character of Samantha, aka Rain, and Lena Luthor's management of Catco. Now I've got to admit here, one thing they're doing differently and doing very well at this season is the smart and decently paced development of the major villain and from the get-go, that being Rain. Now just in case you didn't hear this during the show's break, Rain is not slated to be a villain from the get-go on the series. She is supposedly going to find out more about herself as she goes and accordingly become the comic book villain she's known to be. And since she's still walking her first steps on that path of self-discovery, the show is kinda making sure she gets there slowly, but steadily. Accordingly, we've been seeing things like her being this mother, loving her child, trying to save her, extremely surprised as her daughter chooses to act violently at school. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more of these moments over the coming few weeks. I'm also starting to think that it might be her daughter ending up extremely hurt or even possibly dead that will push her over the edge into becoming the villain she's destined to be. There's also the option that nightmares like the one she had on the premiere will do the trick. Now when it comes to the character of Ruby, Samantha's daughter, she's kind of extremely annoying and a bit of a drama queen. On another note, Odette Annabelle is doing an extremely good job so far in the role of Rain. When speaking of Rain though, I don't just like how they're clearly developing her on the side even with a villain of the week sort of episode. Instead, I'm as well very entertained by how they're somehow weaving her into the overall storyline of said episode. Now that is most definitely something Supergirl is doing differently this season. But in a manner of speaking, it's also becoming a bit clearer that Alura Zor-El, Kara's mother, is at the center of the entire Rain-Supergirl dynamic that we'll be watching over the course of the rest of the season. And yes, there are limited scenes with Alura so far, but when you kinda think about it, the premiere started with her and Kara and ended with her and Rain. So what I'm thinking of here is around the lines of them being sisters or possibly cousins. After all, the person Rain saw in that nightmare at the very end of the premiere might not be Alura, but rather her twin sister Astra. Now I know I might be trying to read way too much into this, but let me know what you think about it in the comments. But as usual, here are some of my quick stray comments on this episode. Number 1. The title of the episode, Triggers, possibly hints at the kind of things that would trigger the powers of Rain, such as her daughter being in danger. This is evidenced by her failed attempt to manifest her powers at the very end of the episode. Number 2. The title of the episode could also refer to the episode's villain Sai and her triggering the fears of everyone who stands in her way. It could also refer to the real trigger behind Kara's fears, her loss of Mon-El. Number 3. I love how Alex scares the shit out of Win every time and gets him to spill whatever it is that he's hiding. That basically cracked me up and was the funniest moment on this episode. Number 4. Yael Grobless did a pretty decent job at being the villain on this episode. As an actress, she just has this amazing ability to portray evil, and she's been doing the villain thing on the CW for a while now as well, so it's not her first rodeo. Number 5. I really did like how they didn't just use Sai to get this one episode done and over with. Instead, they ended up using her as well to further develop Rain. No thanks here to the dumbest and most irritating daughter anyone could ever have. Number 6. It was really good how the episode played the whole fear factor, with Kara leaving her mother and Krypton burning. And yet it was not really about any or all of that. It wasn't really about Alura putting Kara into the pod, but rather Kara's fear she killed Mon-El by putting him into one and sending him off Earth. Number 7. The interactions between Alex on one hand and Samantha and Ruby on the other kept going further to establish a connection with Rain on Kara's side. To our surprise though, the episode went further to establish a connection between Samantha and Kara through Lena Luthor, with Samantha taking over at L-Corp while Lena focuses her attention on Catco. But finally, number 8. Now that last scene with Megan Morse pretty much leads into the events of the upcoming episode. Most of the events of said episode are gonna be taking place on Mars, where John Jones is gonna be reuniting with his father. But for the time being, that's my review and highlights for episode 2. So let me know in the comments what you thought of episode 2. What are your thoughts on Rain's development so far? How do you believe she's gonna end up going from Samantha to full-on Rain? Also, do you think she's actually related to Kara in the sense that she's either her sister or her cousin? Now you can let me know as well if you liked this video by slapping it a much appreciated like, and while you're at it you can always subscribe and enable notifications for my future videos. But until I see you next time, thank you all for watching and have a good one.